I had to start over. I hate when people call. Don't you hate when you on D&D and the motherfucker just call? Like, stop calling. If I ain't answered, that mean I ain't answering. If you ain't text me, that means it's not important. Hmm. Anyway, forgot what I was talking about again. But don't push me. You know, even in relationships, when a nigga try to push me, like, oh, I just, you know how a nigga try to, get away from me. I just feel like you just slimed on me. I just feel slimy. I don't like, what is that, persistence. Don't persist me. You know, like, don't push up on me. Don't cohort me. Don't pressure me. I don't care what Pretty Ricky said. Don't put a little peer pressure on nothing. Then I'm gonna get into my mind, and you're gonna trigger me, and then I'm gonna have to do a psych evaluation on you. And I'm already having one on you already. Now I'm just gonna have to expedite that process. That's what I'm saying. But yeah, I don't know what else to give to people. I just got done crying out the wazoo with my therapist. Baby, I done gave this world all I can give it. I done gave this life what I could give it. Child, I'm motherfucking tired. If I get any more motherfucking tired, bitch, I'm gonna be a flat tire on the Cadillac. Okay, just done. Done. Stick a fork in me, bitch. I'm done. Stick a fork in me, bitch. I'm done. I'm through. Stick a fork in me, bitch. I'm done and I'm through. Stick a bitch in me, bitch. I'm done. And stick a fork in me, bitch. I'm done and I'm through. I'm done. I told my therapist I'm not brave enough to commit to stuff, so you don't gotta worry about that, dear. I said if I'm going when I'm going. It's going to be by the hand of the Lord, and this is going to be God's time. And I'm not going to argue. Look, as a child, I made my peace with it a long time ago. It's a part of life, and I am not afraid. And no Tupac on it. No Lisa Left Eye on the calamity. You feel what I'm saying? It's just like it is. I feel like I died a million times over. And maybe that's the Lord granting my wish. Every time I tell the Lord, Lord, I'm ready to go, he'd be like, okay, well, die to another aspect of yourself. Go through another ego death then, bitch. I'm not through with you yet. And I hate being patronized that way. Like, why would you play? And sometimes, like, crazy girl shit aside, are involved if your relationship does not go this deep with God. Like, sometimes I feel like God just be up there laughing at me. And I'm like, this is no laughing, joking matter. I am really stressed out. And I don't like going through that ups and downs. Like, what if the Lord has a big plan for me? It's like, well, where the fuck is you at with it? And what am I not doing? What do a bitch gotta do? What a bitch gotta say, gotta do? Because I feel like I didn't Mariah Carey. I didn't give it my all. I gave my all. You hear me? And I don't like that, especially like, my therapist always talk about, I'm so proud of you. You just changed so much internally. When's the external gonna reflect? I'm tired of motherfuckers trying to, I already got to live in this world being just a little, with my malfunctions. And then I got to be out here with nothing? Where's my credibility? Make me credible, Lord. It's but for real though, like real shit, all bullshit to the side. That's how a bitch feel right now. Like as hard as a bitch work, as much as a bitch is done, it's like it don't feel like it's worth it right now. And it's been times where I done been in it, and maybe I'm being dramatic in this whole, but I done been in it, and it's just like for every step that I felt like I was taking to get me to where, like, ooh, this is it on my Michael Jackson, but not on my Michael Jackson. Like, it's like, what the fuck? You feel me? Like, you playing. Like, am I playing? Did I have somebody fucked up that was important? Or, like, am I important and I got myself fucked up? Like, what's going on? Because a bitch work hard for the money. I come from impoverishment. I come from deficiency, bitch. Get it out the mud. Me and my cousin was talking yesterday. He like, this bitch TT really get it out the motherfucking bud. As long as you know, nigga, we was making mud pies together, nigga. We was making mud pies together, nigga. Look. And I don't look like it. I don't look like I look square, and I like that. Square, so square, bitch is triangle. So square, bitch is circle, and it's small. Leave me alone. Like, but you feel me? Bitches like me not supposed to. Bitches like me wasn't supposed to go to college, get a higher education. That's supposed to be shit to brag about. Bitch, I do not feel braggadocious. I feel atrocious. Because where the fuck the money at? You get into this world, I got this motherfucking degree. Let's start there. Let's start with the disappointment of that. The disappointment of the degree. The degree of disappointment. Anyway, right, for real, the degree of disappointment has got me under the pressure. Because I'm depressed. I ain't lying to you. And that's what don't nobody talk to you about after you finish this shit. Like, you get your degree, it's put out to you like, oh, you go and you start your career and it's the next level, next stage of life. Yeah, if you was kissing enough ass. For some people in some states, in some areas, because when you got to go out and be a pillar or a member of society, society wants you to conform and comply sometimes in ways that is not accommodating to you or your moral principles. And some people are willing to make those sacrifices through the manipulations of verbiage, and other people aren't, such as myself. So here we are. And they always talk about these laws of power. Well, I guess that's why a bitch is going through what she's going through. Because I'm willing to say what the fuck needs to be said. Oh, don't say this. Be smarter. Don't be as smart as your master in the laws of power. And this, but I don't got time for that, bitch. I'm living the real world every day. All this manipulation. That's the motherfucking problem right now. We always find the motherfucking ways to go around the manipulation instead of break the shit. Anyway, I got that degree and they tried to sell you that dream. Martin Luther King. And I went after it. You feel me? I said I come from deficiency. I come from, motherfuckers who didn't go so far, and I went to the furthest extent on my shit. And it's like, okay, I didn't went this far and I didn't work this hard. Okay, where is my equal pay? Where's my fair pay? Where's my higher competitive pay? Where is my benefits? Where's my reciprocity? Where's the organizational structure? Where's the order? Where's the this ain't how they put it on the films. Maybe that's my problem. I watched too many movies because I just knew that, I watched a different world growing up. I felt like I had a little idea of how working in corporate society was going to work. And then I went and had my own experiences, bitches, from about 16, 17 on up. And it's just like, ugh. I don't like this. It's ugly in here. And everybody's always talking to, like, the music industry and the entertainment industry always gets the highest. The entertainment industry and the education industry, they always get the highest, like, media or attention when it comes to the industries being fucked up. But all this shit is shitty. You can't go to one industry for another because you're going to run into the same problem. So then it's like, what the fuck are we doing? Then I get tired of wrapping my head around that. Because you can go to a motherfucker with a solution. It's like, no, that ain't it. And then the motherfucker come back to you like 2-3 years later, like, I think that was it. Kiss my ass. Pick up the phone when you tell me you ready and you want to put that motherfucking work in. I don't want to have no motherfucking conversation about it. I'm tired. Anyway, you go through all that for this fucking degree and you still got to go through the shit. Life still happens. Start telling people that. But shout out to my motherfucking high school, college counselor, that bitch. I know she's probably like, this bitch is crazy. I don't care. But anyway, thank you, because the bitch used to say that all the time. 3 bitches tell me that all the time. But the thing that these 3 bitches didn't tell me was how, bitch, how. How do you deal with the motherfucking emotions, the pressure, bitch? How do you support people going through this? Life is still going to happen. That's what bitches said. Life is still going to happen. You can still be homeless with a degree. You can still have no money. You can still be in domestic violence. You can still be uneducated with a motherfucking degree. You can still be ignorant. People can still try to play you out your motherfucking pocket behind that motherfucker. It's competitive, yeah, but what you competing for? Shit. So it's enough to make you frustrated. Like, why did I go through all this? Like, on some shit, it make you feel like, bitch, I probably just should have been an essential worker. The bitch, you put me in a warehouse. My little ass used to be in the warehouse too. I like to work. I like to get shit done for real. So it's just like, so now I feel bamboozled and swindled, but I don't, because I needed to go get that higher education so I can learn how to navigate in this world. right? It gave me that opportunity, right? You can learn that without that. Like, it's some shit that I learned outside on real life that college only just gave me the opportunity to certify that I have the capacity. You feel what I'm saying? Like, oh, okay, this bitch went to college, so she should know. Bitch, I knew before I went to college, but I was just able. You feel me? So, like, I'm not even really just able. Like, I was pushed, financial aid. Bitches still in debt today for that shit. They trying to collect money so they can go send it off to the people in the world. I'm sorry you can't get that money out of me because I don't have the money to give it to you. I'm trying to figure out how to get some moolah right now. So, you're barking up the wrong tree. Why y'all always barking up broke people trees? Shit. Why is they always barking up broke people trees for some money? Oh, the world is at a state emergency. Why are y'all always telling the people that y'all supposed to be serving protected? Why ain't y'all getting nothing done? Y'all don't never tell us what we supposed to know. You feel me? Y'all don't never tell us when y'all got shit together. They always telling us when ain't shit good. We're in the red flag. We're in the yellow blue state. Well, what are you niggas doing? What y'all got going on that we hear, and why isn't it together? You want to come to the people about it. So you telling me you can handle this shit on your own? Then what are you doing in the offices and the positions that you in the first place? Then that'll send me down a whole nother rant, child. Because what are you doing? Oh, these people, they make me so mad. But I went there and I got that degree. And as soon as you say that to a bitch, I went on an interview the other day. Talk about racial discriminating with the POC. That's why I don't be liking to be calling me no POC. I'm black. I'm black and a little Indian. That's what my daddy tells me. And my father's side, apparently we got a Native American grandfather, one of them. I don't know. I've never laid eyes on a man. But it may be true because alcoholism does, that doesn't matter. It does not matter. The point at hand was where I was at. Now, where was I at? Shit, I done forgot. The POC. Look here. Everybody got their own, every race, every ethnicity has their own way how they measure themselves and their proximity to whiteness, because Columbus and all his homeboys came in here with all that calamity and did what they did. Now we feel like we got to roll that way until we find our own way, a way that accommodates the whole, which is going to take some working together and a whole lot of effort. But anyway, what's the name? I'm trying to get an interview work on the back end somewhere. And it is what it is. I don't think I'm supposed to be working for nobody, but I'm having a hard time learning how to work for myself. But that is another conversation. Anyway, take money to make money. I'm out there trying to go make some. I go sit with a POC. Brown woman, how do we do this? Okay, black people are black people. Okay, I'm African American black people. Then we call Latin people brown people, but then we call Indian people brown people too. What we gonna do? We got to switch it up. Somebody's got to be caramel. Somebody's got to be. We need to go over the color schemes and see how we're gonna do this thing. We're gonna have nude, but then we can't do that because every ethnicity that I'm speaking on in that category has shades. So what are we gonna call it? I'm all right with being chocolate. Even though this chocolate berries. But what are we going to do? We're going to go Nutella, the Nutella's still chocolate. Chocolate, peanut butter. Peanut butter, people. Boom. I like peanut butter. Look, no shade, no tea, no calamity now. Identifiers and identifiers, no calamity here. Anyway, peanut butter, people. I like peanut butter. I like peanut butter because it does give peanut butter like a Indian, not American Indian, as I was speaking before. That's what I was saying, American Indian. But like Indian, the Middle Eastern people, they have skin like peanut butter. African Americans and African people have skin like chocolate. That shit is smooth and soft and all that. But peanut butter, it reminds me of peanut butter. I like that peanut butter. Anyway, go sit down with a peanut butter lady. And she tell this chocolate cocoa brown, no. Now, mind you, the interview was weak. Soft. Bitch didn't have no applications or no paperwork. So that just let me know that you really don't have your organizational structure in order. Interview was 2 seconds long. The bitch kept acting like she couldn't hear me. And then, what's the name? I was trying to get it through a hookup, so they smelled that ganja on me. you know I stay out for the memories now, due to the memories. And, that was consulted with on the back end, right? Now, mind you, this particular lady has hung out and employed male and female people who do subscribe, you know. So when I sat down with her, I didn't feel like it was going to be a good thing because we started the interview with, she's like, I know you from somewhere. The only place you can know me from right now is TikTok. And they stopped my videos at 200 views. So what are you doing around town in my land? But I never laid eyes on the lady before, so but you know how like people have those internalized racism things and they think like one of us is all of us. So it's like, oh, it's like, I know you. It felt like, oh, I know this kind of black bitch. That's what it was giving. It was that type of like, bitch, I know your kind. And she may or may not have been right about me because if you thought I was a black bitch that don't take no shit and got a mouth, you were absolutely motherfucking right. Right? But we talked, it was brief. I said, no, she doesn't care for me very well. And I can always tell when somebody doesn't care for me very well. And I don't really care when nobody cares for me very well. As long as we, I don't mind who don't matter to me. And if I don't matter to you, then you should mind me. But anyway, so she goes, I'm waiting. Another hiring process goes around, and I'm just like, okay, ain't nobody said nothing. I'm walking around this motherfucker border. I'm allergic to being broke now. I get around here, I get real sick, real mean, real nasty, real cruel. And I'm like, okay, what's happening? What's going on? What's going on? Bada. So it's like, oh, motherfuckers hit you with the family politics. Like, oh, we don't want too many people who know each other to be at one establishment. Huh? But every other day, a motherfucker is talking about they need help at this establishment. You don't even have any qualifications for who you're hollering, but you don't want to hire this fine, melanated Coco Brown. Girl, you know you was intimidated by me when I walked through the motherfucking door. But it's that type of shit. Bitch, your whole organization could literally, quite literally, rip to motherfucking pieces, bitch, fall to shreds. But you don't want to employ a black woman. That's coming from a peanut butter woman, a POC. People, and sometimes I don't like to be like, oh, the whole world is against me, because I ain't shit to be against. Who am I to you? Who am I? The girl named Sugar? Who are you? Who are you? But I had that experience, and it's just like, we don't want to disappoint each other in that way, but it is what it is. And those are realities that I'm willing to accept. I hate when motherfuckers be like, no, that isn't them. That's not what that means. That's why I don't get along with people. You don't have no problem with accepting shit for what it is. I done seen too much dark shit that I have to accept for what it was. I can't live in that oblivion. Wish I could get back, I would get back to know. That's that Janelle. That Janelle. Who, child? That's that Janae. Janae? Janae Aiko. In my mind, I was saying Janelle Monáe. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? It's that. But it happens, and it's just like from where a bitch comes from, their culture, and bada, being intimidated. This naturally how you come up. It may just be for you to be intimidated by other women. You can perceive other women as competition. May or may not be threatened by black women, or even be drenched down in stereotypes about black women. And maybe that's not even the bag. But it just, by all the details that I just gave you, this doesn't make sense. You're in a bind. You need help. You don't have any standard, obviously, already. You didn't have an application process. Your interview process was 2 seconds long. But that's when rejection is divine protection and redirection. And I get mad, but I don't get mad. Like, I get mad because it's like, fuck, Lord, a bitch needs some money. Where the money at? Where the dollars at, Lord? Where the dollars at? That's where the dollars at? Jesus, where the dollars at? Where the dollars at, Lord? Where the dollars at? Where the dollars at, Michael? Who's that? Angel Michael? Archangel Angel Michael? Who is the money angel? Where the dollars at, Buddha? Where the dollars? I need a green Buddha. I know God is God, and God just uses vessels. Don't play with me. Anyway, I just, it's like, damn. But it would have been another situation. I'm already in 2 situations right now about some job shit. Trying to figure out what the fuck to do, how the fuck to, you know what I'm saying? Because it's stressful. Ross got me out here on quote unquote suspension. Ain't called, text, or nothing because they don't want to run up that unemployment. Bitch, let me go if you don't want me there because you ain't trying to run up no money on a settlement, bitch. Like, come up out that little bit of money. The bitch trying to get on. And it's not even on some user type shit. No, opportunist type shit. The opportunity that I wanted, I took. I applied to be an associate at a store and motherfuckers got to tripping on me. You feel me? And I hate that. Like, why I gotta encounter this shit? You feel me? Don't nobody wake up like, oh, I want to face discrimination. I want to face racial bitch, you think I give a fuck about a bitch internal problem with me being black, hoe? Go deal with it on your own motherfucking times. Bitch, I got shit to do. Sounds personal to me, hoe. You feel me? Like, give me my money. I'm here to work. I'm in this motherfucker on time. If I'm not on time, bitch, I still work 3-4 times as hard than anybody else in this motherfucker. Get out my way. Let me know what I need to know, and then we can be gone. But don't try to patronize me. Don't try to overpower me. Don't try to micromanage me. Don't try to belittle me because you really intimidated by a bitch like me. I don't like that. And that type of energy exists in more than one place, in more than one area, in more than one facility. And then we as black and brown and minority people internalize that and then go spew that shit out on each other. I don't have the fucking time. And I'm going to be the bitch to tell you about yourself every time, whether you like the way I say it or not. And I'm always really calm. People try to tell me I'm passive. But if you tried to disrespect me on the sly and think that I wasn't fit to check you on the sly back, why the fuck did we think that was okay? But not even like that. Like, then it's like, goddamn. Then that's some more shit. Then you gotta go sue motherfuckers and press these charges and that charge and wait on this time. Ain't nobody doing their job nowhere. Ain't nobody doing their job nowhere. Ain't nobody doing their motherfucking job. Everybody right now is under surveillance, under scrutiny, under motherfucking, what's that called? Review. Everybody's under motherfucking review right now. The whole world is shit. I don't care how the stats look. We all shit. It's shitty. It's real shitty right now. It's real shitty, manitty bobitty. And you know, like I was saying earlier in this one or the last one, it don't matter what industry you go through, there's some bullshit in every industry. So then it's like, okay, motherfuckers, what we gonna stand for as a people? Is we gonna stand as a people? Because, bitch, if all y'all gonna do is roll, duck, and tuck, bitch, I'm going off grid. I'm going off grid. Fuck y'all and fuck this. I will go live in a tent. At this point, it is what it is. Then they be trying to break, like the world is so fucked up. Bitch, ain't nowhere for you to live. You go post up a tent, they try to charge you for that. I'm broke. I'm broke. I don't got no money on me. You trying to? The world's so fucked up, child. They'll tax and if they could. I can't wait till this shit get better. If it ever does, some days I be having hope for it. Like I said, other days I don't be giving a fuck, Chuck. I'm ready to give up. Good luck. I ain't lying. What Then it be so much bullshit, but I experienced that trying to get some money on the back end, working and all this shit. And you work, if you don't do good, they don't tell you how to get better and bada. It's just like, but you want things to work out, and everybody's communication fucking sucks. I'm saying that as an avid ghoster. I ghost motherfuckers just because, goddamn it, it's Halloween season. Halloween. Ew. But, like, you know, you have those type of discriminations. I just applied for a job I really wanted so fucking bad. So bad. And I didn't get it. But I know they hired a motherfucker that was incompetent to do it. Because that's all that's happening. That's all that's happening. If I see, and it's just like that, like, there are programs and protocols and procedures that should be implemented and enforced and honored with, you know, within the application and employment and what is that, the hiring process that people just fucking negate to ensure that the people that you're bringing on do have a level of competence. But you should have ensured that a person would even be able to have the ability to learn before you employ them. Then it's just like, why are we even arguing about these things? What does it fucking matter? Rich niggas who own these companies make the decisions anyway, and then everybody else just falls in line through whatever verbiage that they can use to manipulate you into thinking that something that is completely wrong is right. And now you out here arguing with a motherfucker to try to get you to see that, bitch, this is wrong, and you're like, no, stay there, stay there until you figure it the fuck out. I don't know. Like, what? I remember the first time I was having this conversation just about the medical field. We've been watching the medical field do what it's doing, disappoint us. And that's not everybody in the medical field. If you in that motherfucker and you're doing what you're supposed to do, what you gotta do as right as you can, bitch, thank you. Thank you for having the balls and the strength and the courage and the capacity to stand in such a wicked environment. Because shit get wicked. Boom, boom, boom. Shit get wicked, I know. You tell me, baby. Anyway. Nursing, medical, conversation. You're going to having a conversation with a relative that works in the medical field, and I'm breaking that down to them. I'm like, that's how most shit runs. Most companies are ran by its funders, or its supporters, or its partners, or whatever, and they make the shots, whatever they want to implement with their money, how they're investing their money. So if a motherfucker say, hey, feed these motherfuckers goat juice and tell them it's cow milk in so many words, or whether if a motherfucker over verbiage that, or use all of these words for a motherfucker to be have a hard time to decipher, and they just signing their name to it. It's like, oh, you don't even know you drinking motherfucking cow titty milk. I mean, cat titty milk now. You know, like so. I'm just like I'm learning this. I went through the whole cognitive dissonance thing. Like, oh, what? The world can't be that cold. The world can't be that cruel. The world can't be that. Can't be that. Can't be that. Can't be that. Oh no, 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 no. Yeah, I went through that. Very devastating. Very emotional. Very blah. You know, it's fucking horrible. Anyway, a motherfucker is getting mad at me because they feel like I'm trying to say that they're a sheep, impressionable. And in so many ways, yeah, right? But I'm not excluding myself from this level of impressionalism, like impressionableness. Like I'm saying that this is what's happening. Like Santa Claus, everybody got lied to about Santa Claus. Same thing, just different lie. And because we were what? Impressionable. You kept going back to that man because you were impressionable. And you care for that person, and that care, that love allows you to be a little gullible. We all go there. Like literally, it's okay. However you need to say it to make you feel better about it. However you need to say it for you to accept it, like what I'm talking about right now. So, um, we have that conversation. It's just like, no, now you trying to say I'm a sheep, and I'm just like, we all are. And it's just like, now O's is mad. Now I'm crazy. Now I'm evil. Now I'm wicked. Now I don't know what I'm talking about. But as time goes by, and we have the time, the ability, the space to digest the information and look into things for ourselves, we can conclude, oh, right, right. And sometimes a bitch is not always right. But I'm willing to allow myself to be open for my beliefs to be challenged, because if they're strong and they're true, they will stand. I think that's how the whole belief thing is supposed to work. It's not that they won't be challenged or tested. It's just, are you going to continue to stand? Yeah. But Donnie McClurkin has it. After you've done all you can, you just stand and ensure and be and endure and be sure. And then John KP, I decided to take a stand, not knowing. I just don't. Mm. But yeah, like the world has its way. I mean, just look at the different histories that people are willing to erase and negate to not be accountable for the evil, wicked things that they do. And how many of us are so willing to not acknowledge those things, because to acknowledge those things would hurt us very deeply, but change a lot of the things that we believed in so, like, so strongly. And that's no easy like relationship to break up with. And I do thank God for the mentor that I had in that time, because they showed me the grace that I needed to make that transition into just acceptance. Because it's not hard. It's like, you know what I'm saying? You find out that your favorite uncle's a pedo. That's not an easy thing to accept. You know, you find out that your dad's not really your dad. You know, your mom was never your mom. It's like, those are devastating realities. Unfortunately, life can be filled with those type of things. And one thing I'm learning how to accept, right, is the people who don't have the heart to accept those things. But those people are dangerous and they don't even know it, because that lack of acceptance can literally hold progression. And that's when we have to leave people behind. There's the progression that you have in acceptance you go through, right? But you have to have that willingness to be forward. I watched a movie, probably a Lifetime original, Jonah Kearns or something like that. I think it was Not in My Family. Silence in the Sheets, Silence in the Sheets, whatever. And they had to address some, that was happening psycholistically in the family. And it was their dad. Their dad was a very prestigious man, and he had done in two generations like that. And finally, she decided, Joan's character decided, I'm going to be the generational curse breaker. And I'm so proud of her for that. And she was strong the whole time, but she had to kind of just like hold her brothers and sisters through that process, because her sister was a victim as well. Her brother wasn't. Well, he was of manipulation and emotional abuse, if anything. But she went through that process, and it wasn't easy for any of them. Like, the brother kind of backed out a couple of times, because it's your parent and you love them, and for all the good things that they've done, it's hard to accept or acknowledge the vastness, or the weight of some negative things that they could do, right? So that's a hard thing. Like, those are things to accept, and some people don't accept those things, or they will victim blame because it's just too hard to accept. And yeah, I usually stand away from those types of people and places and things, or at a very safe distance, um, because it's just like that blind love thing, that rose colored glasses. Like, why can't we all get along? We have to acknowledge and accept the fact that sometimes we're not, and that's okay. And we just have to learn how to exist in spite of that, which is another hard task, because in some ways of existence do need to be changed, and they can be. Other ways, you have to work around them, because they're just what they are, right? And you work through them, really not even around them. You work through them, because this is life. Life is going to do its own little life thing. Life is always life. So yeah. But we have those things. It's hard for us, no matter how, to accept, newer realities of truth. Back to the Santa Claus. You gotta, like, goddamn. So he wasn't going through the chimney, but I see the soot on the floor. And that's the Santa Claus is a whole nother thing, because that's manipulation and gaslighting in itself. Think of all, and it's innocent in that, in that way, but in so many other ways it could be like negative. Just like you made the fake shoe prints, you ate the cookies. You know what I'm saying? You set up the whole little scene to make it feel real, and that's how manipulation works. And sometimes we have to discover the intent behind it. But I think people always say, well, it's about creating a sense of magic and imagination in children. But I don't always think that that's fair, because you can do that with creating something that's true and real. You know, the what's the name? What's getting ready to come out? What is that shit? The Secret Society of Magical Negroes. Is that what that is? I think that's what it is. And it has one of my favorite, David Allen Greer. I love David Allen Greer just from In Living Color. I used to watch a lot of fucking reruns. And I love seeing him. I love seeing him, I guess, because it's just like, sometimes you have artists, right? And they just do their shit. He's somebody that I love to see do that shit. Cause it's like, you do this, you do this. I can imagine David Allen being a self-taught, or he actually just like investing time in learning certain shit. Cause he just, it's like, it's natural. He's one of my favorites to see though. He's gonna be in that movie, so just root it off him alone. I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry if we feel like I'm betraying the woke brigade. If you bitches ever so do decide to put me in that category, just don't. I'm okay with being a regular human, just a person. But I'm going to see it. I want to see if my theories about it are right or not, and I'm going to go pay to see it. I am. I love me some David Allen Greer. He did that. What's that? He just did Dad Stop Embarrassing Me with Jamie Foxx, and I was so mad. I was so mad that they did not get picked up for a second season. And what's crazy is the Upshaws came, and I didn't get into the Upshaws off of the first episode, but I think I was on Facebook or somewhere, and they're like, it's really funny, and I'm like, I'm gonna try this again. And the second episode sold me. Like, I liked it. And then I felt what they were trying to do. And I felt what they were trying to do with both of the shows. So I'm really like mad that they both aren't existing together. Um, but that's me. I'm a TV girly. But all of the people today, the world is so fucking sensitive. This is gonna be my last conversation, like my last topic, and then I'm done. Today, the world is so fucking sensitive. Um, because I understand being respectful, and I understand establishing boundaries with people, and they're their own personal thing for us all sometimes, right? And sometimes they're just they're their group thing. Um, but the level of sensitivity that we have sometimes, like Dave Chappelle says, like, motherfuckers are operating in a way where we're taking the nuance out of things, or we're not like, we're trying to make everything so black and white, and that is not reality. And it took me a long time to even get to this point. The fact that I'm even at this point, I'm still working through it, is crazy. But that's not reality. Reality is far more complex than what it is that, like, they work so hard to try to teach us in school. Like, it's either one way or the other, and that's not always true. um, Sometimes it's mixed, very much so mixed. So like, people put out think pieces today, and we all have think pieces. I got a million one of them bitches. Uh, about concepts that that we're all still learning. You know what I'm saying? You put one word out there, and like when coercion came, um, everybody was ready to call like everybody a R wordist, and it's like, okay, that those behaviors are, predatory. But how long have we been existing in this life where those types of things were acceptable? Now we can condemn them. We can, and we deserve to hold those types of acts accountable. But now we have to figure out, what is it that we're teaching young boys about sex, and how are we teaching and condoning for them to practice it, in order for us to be having this conversation about our level of comfortability, or not even a conversation, an argument about the violation that happens in those types of acts, right? So it's like that. Now, where was I before I got here? Like, sometimes it's just like I said, nobody's saying that it is not wrong, but let's address the miseducation that starts the thing to begin with, right? Let's do that. So, because the sometimes the harm isn't in telling the joke. The joke itself acknowledges the reality. And I think some acknowledgments of some types of realities makes people uncomfortable, and that's the problem. That's the problem. That's why, like, powerful or influential people, or people who quote unquote won the world, try to burn books in history. So we're arguing about things like this. Like, it just runs so deep. Sometimes it's frustrating. Anyway, to the point. People argued about the title. Oh, magical Negroes, magical Negroes. It's like, it's a timepiece. Um, what is that? Who just, they wasn't getting ready to say magical niggas. Like, I don't think we've gotten that far yet. Have we? Am I wrong? Like, I know they put it in the subtitles now. Um, And it's not even like, I think that's one of those performative inclusive things that happens. Like, we're not gonna say the N word. Like, I don't know. Maybe some old heads got motherfuckers to do that. Like, don't ever allow anything to come out with the N word. No, like, publications, no paraphernalia, no movie, no, but like any big thing. Like, you know what I'm saying? Mind you, people do it, and maybe I could be missing that. Um, but to the point, which is what Negroes, magical Negroes. Okay, great. So, what's the name? There's a title. So then I'm like, maybe a timepiece, but it just is what it is. They couldn't say black motherfuckers. They couldn't say exclusively. So we got Negroes, and that was a word. That was a word in the 70s and the 80s. Like, it's timey, but it's not white timey. Well, is it white time? Well, it doesn't matter because niggas is white timey anyway, and we just flipped the script on the shit. So like, cool your titties is what I'm saying. Right? Like, okay, so then that was one. Like, so everybody's in there feeling like the title alone is giving. Chill. Like, we be so mad about all the wrong shit. Like, they still paying niggas lower than they paying everybody else. Focus, bitch. Focus. Bitch, focus. Um, anyway. So there's that. There's that, right? Then there's the plot of the movie. I guess the full trailer finally came out, and this whole concept of like black people using their magic and their magical powers to neutralize white people in order to make their black existence uh more pleasurable to have. So we're using our gifts to entertain white people. It's just like that's a that's a reality that we live and have been living. That reminded me instantaneously of a scene out of Django when Leonardo DiCaprio and I believe his other white cohort was sitting up watching two Mandingos fight for their entertainment and enjoyment. Hmm. So like, we cooked, we cleaned, we slaved, we did all of this to neutralize. That's a magical ass thing to do. They find us entertaining. They find us magical already. And what are we doing on this earth right now? It's just like, you know what I'm saying? It take a lot of people just like, I don't know. So I felt like that was a satire, as the people call it. Like, okay, it's an embellishment of an already existing reality, or is it? Or and that, and sometimes it's just like, is this an embellishment, or is this just a depiction without veil? Like, I'm not gonna explain that, but just like a depiction without the rose-colored glasses on, like a clear picture, like a depiction without the filter. Um, so it's just like, so people are like, oh, so they only have magical powers that can be used to neutralize white people. Well, that's the only time our greatness is acknowledged, based off of how much we were able to impress a crowd of white people. That's the only time that we're credited. You get your degree based off of white male requirements. And I could be stretched out here. I could be stretching it out. But it's like, we be screaming, but what do we be talking about? So it's like, okay. So I heard that argument. And it's like, oh, well, we have another, film where we're just appeasing the white people and you don't have anything. Like, these films are showcasing sometimes it feels like they're showcasing the extent of our reality. And if it makes you that frustrated, change reality. Um, but there's that, right? So it's like, why would you put this out? But then there's a white love interest, and I'm kind of hoping. I said this on my TikTok that that's an element that blows up in his face, because in that case, it's just how we do now. We're all, we're measuring our success and our who we are and what we can do based off our proximity to whiteness, our white gaze, and it's like, oh, for black men a lot, like, oh, the closest you can get to being white and having the freedom of a white person is being with a white woman. White women fight for what they love now. I can tell you that those bitches are monsters. They're a beast. Don't you dare. Don't you piss Becky off. She's a monster. Um, what's the name? We've seen these white women be monstrous all the time. We've seen them do devious things. Um, so it is what it is. You know, sometimes you all just, yeah, you all just do a little too much for me to be cool with it. Um, but yeah, so he has that. And I wonder, is that a part of his assignment? Just that proximity, you know, because they are like agents for, you know, white mental security, like white emotional support animals. It's like by default, did the motherfucker gain these feelings because you so close? You feel me? Like, you get what I'm saying? Like, I got no hope for the plight and the plot, but if it goes down like that, I'm just so. But I do be tired of this whole white savior complex shit. I be feeling that people don't ever. I won't ever want the woke brigade to think that I don't hear you hoes. I hear you loud and clear. But yeah, I feel that like we don't always need a white hero at the end of the fucking movie. But they always gotta represent themselves some type of way. I was just telling a motherfucker that like we was talking about who what white the Jonathan Majors thing. You know, I feel like it was a fair verdict. I ain't gonna lie, I was up and down, in and out with it, but I can see like, and then we got it. This is when reading it and listening is fundamental, just based off of how things is played out, and you can still have your opinion, whatever. 4 counts in total. 2 he was guilty. 2 he wasn't. Now he wasn't found guilty of the shit that was important. What he was found guilty what seems to be like some circumstantial default. It's like I don't know. The best way that I can describe it is that you were shooting to aim somebody else, but you grazed another person. But it's only a 2-person situation, and so it doesn't make any sense. Like you was backing out trying to get out of the way, but you backed your car into the next person too hard. Like you wasn't paying attention to what you was doing, and you made a mistake. And that's not to say that motherfucker is completely innocent in this situation as far as he's concerned. Like after just getting some of the details, I feel what it is. I know what it is. You feel me? And a motherfucker ain't gonna kick it to you how I'm gonna kick it to you because a motherfucker ain't got enough heart to kick it like that. And sometimes it just be what it is. Motherfucker got out there and fucked with who was available to them because who and what he really wanted was not. And that happens in any culture of people. But when you a bitch that's black like me, you know how these. Come on now. So now you finally up, you got what you wanted, you doing what you doing, and now you ready to switch up. But you didn't calculate your motherfucking moves right. So you got this lady mad. Mind you, you've been going through the emotional manipulation to keep this bitch next to you. Because you have to do something to keep somebody that you ain't really want by your side in order to reap the benefits of whatever it is that they had to offer you. Stop playing. So it's like, yeah, it's sad, but can you be like, and I was sad at first, standing by the man, but I said if this man is found guilty for what he's guilty for, or what, give me more details so I can make a decision. But I'm like, I can't see bro being just like off top, just boxing on some Ike Turner. Nah, men like him are more emotionally and mentally abusive than anything because they're too scared of the consequences for real. You see how scared that man was of the consequences when he was on that motherfucking phone? So he's not dumb. So it's like shit like that, but aggravated. I think it was not aggravated, or was it aggravated? It's like circumstantial. So it's like, okay, because when he grabbed her and put her in the car, I can see why she cut her ear right there. Like, he was like, okay, bitch, you already know. Like, bitch, get your bitch. But then you in a relationship, you still like, okay, this bitch, I want to make sure shit is cool with this bitch. You know, hovering. Come on. Stop playing with me. So I feel like, everybody got the justice that they needed for what it was for. This was one of the few times I seen the justice system do what it was supposed to do. Now you stay out them girls' face and nigga, you go get some mental and emotional help for yourself because you may have some undertones that you need to rectify. And that's what we don't want to talk about. Like, talk about it like that. When motherfuckers feel like it's too hard fucking with black women, they go over there to the other side and you felt out it wasn't that sweet. So now you got to go work your problems at where they started with. And that's for anybody seeking to go to the other side for something else. And not to say that you can't mix and interrace and intervene, but make sure you ain't running over there because you running from something else, motherfucker. Because you going to run into it again. Stupids. It's like, oh, Jesus Christ. What are we going to do? Lord, what is going on in America? And they swear they just be so smart. But I learned not to be a black and white thinker. I learned that growing up in the cycle of abuse. I watched men hit women and women hit men. I done seen a motherfucking bitch take off on a nigga so motherfucking fast. So I know all women ain't victims. I'm saying it as a bitch. Real ass bitch, give a fuck about it. You hear me? No, I'm just playing, but for real though. Like, you just gotta be able to see that shit. For real, I'm telling you. Like, it's levels to this shit, and you gotta be willing to see. I'm not all this and all that, cause you gotta be willing to look at some shit, you know? And that's sometimes I think that's just on how I was saying earlier, motherfuckers try to take the nuance out of stuff. Sometimes motherfuckers need to have that middle ground, like, come into it, excuse me. Because being so on this side or so on that side, like, it's divisive. Sometimes you do have to choose a side. But sometimes shit, bitch, was right is far more complex than we anticipate. I had a mentor used to tell me that, Tiani, always choosing the harder right over the easier wrong. I guess. I don't know. I don't feel comfortable making any other decisions. I get heavy. Like hives. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? It's just think, baby. Think. That's all I want motherfuckers to do. I gotta piss so motherfucking bad. Let me go do this. But that's my motherfucking TED Talk. I hope you enjoyed your motherfucking time with a crazy ass bitch such as myself. Alright, this is it. But what's the name? Yeah, this is it, y'all. This is my channel. Tune in, tap in when you ever want to hear any random thoughts come out of bitch's mind. Cause this is all I do. I ain't got shit else to give to the world but this me. This all I look, shit. Like, hey now, you're an all-star, get your game on, go play. Hey now, you're a rock star, get your show on, get paid. All that glitters and gold, only shooting stars break the mold. On that note, go watch Shrek, cause that's the motherfucking classics. My kids is gonna love Shrek when I get old. Like when I have kids, they go, Mom, can you put on Shrek? Can you put on Shrek? I wanna watch Shrek. See, I didn't watch cartoons with my mom. My mom was not a cartoon ass kid. She was born a grown ass bitch. It was just like, okay. But I was in there. I don't ever remember that motherfucker watching cartoons. Maybe Tom and Jerry. Anyway, I hope you all have a lovely day. You hear me? I hope that nothing on me or in me that is not good for you gets to you. You hear me? Never that. And I hope nothing on you that is not good to you gets on me. Matter of fact, I hope that it just washes itself clean away. I hope the Lord just cleanses us of all of the bullshit. So we don't have to be here in the bullshit with each other. You know what I'm saying? Maybe the Lord will teach us how to take the bullshit and make manure so we can build a beautiful garden. Have a good day.